Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about jumpers in Vikings War of Clans. In this video, I'm just going to go over what they are and why you should make one. In subsequent videos, I'll get into how to best set your account up if you're going to go ahead and make one of these. Okay, so the basic definition of a jumper is a player that keeps their palace at level 5 or below and builds their account up with the intent of using their novice relocation to jump to a new server right after it launches. There are a few reasons to make a jumper if you're considering restarting and going to a new server. The first and easiest one to do is just making the account so that you have access to mega packs when you jump. With a new account that hasn't spent any money, it actually only takes 3 to 4 weeks before you get access to mega packs. So making that account, even if you just level it to 3 and then leave it, is going to give you quite an advantage once you get started. Now where the jumper really shines is when you start putting work into it. You get your hero leveled up and geared, and you get a ton of items including speed ups. The jumper we're looking at right now I made about 4 months ago. The first 2 months were pretty active. The last 2 months have been fairly quiet. Have not spent any money on this jumper. Let's take a look at some of the items this account has built up. So I'm going to go to my items, treasure, resources don't really matter. Boosts are really the most important thing. So you've got 39, 35%, and 20, 30% construction boost there. Quite a lot of learning and knowledge boosts as well. Very important. But the speed ups is where the jumper really shines. As you can see, it's quite a lot of boosts. I calculated this a couple nights ago, and I was at about 10 years worth of speed ups on this account. So that's kind of a big thing. You also have Bastion of the Beast, which is the best item you can get for your town skin. So 13 of those times 5 days, that's 65 days, a little over 2 months of that buff, which is pretty huge. The rest of the bonuses tab is not quite as exciting. Military one though, very important. You have marching speed ups, troop enlargements, and then just a ton of increased offense for yourself, defense, health, and then reductions for the enemy, as well as these domain guards, which are not obtainable on a new server for the first 5 to 6 weeks. So that's a nice buff as well. Alright, now let's take a look at the hero. As you can see, it's level 50, and if we go to its gear, now this is, all of this up here is farming gear. This is pretty much the best way to build up a jumper, is to gather resources for competitions. So I picked up a decent bit of that to increase the capacity. Now this next set, the white and green items, are for hero experience. Since you can only get your hero's abode to 25% at this level, that makes a pretty big difference. So you do want to try to pick those up. Now that gear is more for preparing your jumper, but you can also work on the gear that you'll use once you actually make your jump. So what that can look like, things like the Victor's Bracelet, Falcon figurine. Every day you complete those tasks, you get extra materials there. You can also use the gold that you're earning to buy materials in that epic chest in the store. But the biggest thing is the special gear that you get from the stronghold. Starting out on a new server, typically clans don't get a stronghold for the first couple weeks, and then studying the drafts to unlock that special gear is not super high on the priority list. So having this coming in is pretty huge. For example, Bjorn's Spear right here, 30% construction speed. The learning speed is okay, but there are better options from the standard gear, so not really worried about that. Stone production and iron production is nice if you're hypermaxing those. Sigurd's Hood, 24% learning speed. This one is huge because you get, well, learning speed is the most important thing, and there aren't really any other good options for the Hood. So not only does this let you start with a lot of your gear already built, but it lets you make some pieces that you might not have access otherwise for the first few months of the server. Lastly, it does let you build up your resources a little bit before you jump, so you're less limited in terms of what you can build. Now these numbers up here are a little bit excessive and probably beyond what a typical jumper is going to be able to do. I'll go into how I did that in a later video. So just to kind of sum this up, by making a jumper, you're able to start on the first day of a server with mega packs available. You're starting with a high level hero. You're starting with multiple sets of gear for your hero. You're starting with speed ups, various other combat items, as well as a decent bit of gold and potentially a good bit of resources as well. I know I'm going to get a lot of people asking why you would want to make a jumper if you already have an account and it's already built up. Making this new account isn't going to catch up with your existing account. Well, in this game, you can't really, unless you're going to spend tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars, be the best in the game, but you can try to be competitive within your server. So by making the jumper, you're more likely to hold a good spot within your server. So really this process is more for anyone that's going to be highly competitive in this game. But if you are interested in making a jumper, I will be making a few more videos detailing how I got this jumper to where it was in such a short period of time, and the best ways to efficiently use your time and your resources. If you're interested or found these videos helpful, please leave a like and subscribe. I will see you guys soon.